like LiamKings has developed a little bit of a lead here, perhaps from Paracusia failing analysts, or just a few other minor movement things.
Right. Probably a 10 to 15 second lead at this point. LiamKings going ahead and opting for the slide to begin with. He will most likely do 100 coin with this slide.
Yeah, looks like it.
Now, and it's kind of confusing for 70 runners because most of the 100 coin is done along with the Penguin Star. However, here you have the ability to leave and get more coins, so it's less risky for the runners, I think, than attempting to do this along with the Penguin as well.
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoy the route in CCM here. You kind of get to go all over the place, and it's fun starting with the slide. You don't have to worry about your coin count while you're going down. You can just kind of get some coins, figure out how many you have, and if you end up missing coins on the slide, it's a lot easier to make up for it than it would be in a normal start.
And it looks like we had a little bit of a technical difficulty in the beginning with our audio. However, we should be good to go now. Shout out to the Twitch chat tuning in for this 70-star tournament between the two gods, LiamKing and Paracusia. So we kind of talked a little bit before, specifically with the runners, with these two runners that are not on the leaderboard for this category, but have been practicing like crazy. I know I checked out Paracusia's stream within the last couple of days, and it looked like 70 nonstop.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's going to be a theme that we're going to see throughout this entire tournament. This category is still kind of gaining popularity, but there's a lot of players who have a lot of potential in this category. They just need to put in the time to really learn it and learn all the ins and outs of it. So I think as the tournament progresses and we see who can make their way through the bracket, we'll see those players spending more personal time with the category, developing in it. And honestly, I think we might see some world record improvements, or really some top players really pushing the time of this category just from the popularity of this tournament.
I mean, if you take a look at the leaderboards, you know, the first 3 spots on the leaderboard for 70-star nonstop have been set within the past 5 days, including the new world record set by Lunar Jump yesterday with a time of 30 minutes and 14 seconds. So yeah, with this category, it hasn't been run in a while. LiamKings falling down there. This category not being run for a while, and it's kind of brought new life into it with this particular tournament.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited to see what happens here. And speaking of Lunar Jump, world record holder in this category, the winner of this race, hopefully they do really well and they're familiar with the category by that point, because they will be facing off against Lunar Jump in round. So whoever ends up winning, I hope they can bring their big guns next round, because they're fighting against the boss man.
Yes, and he has been streaming nonstop, and anybody who knows Lunar, he is going to go all the way for sure, especially in these categories where he excels incredibly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So looks like Paracusia slowing down just a little bit. LiamKings still maintaining just a little bit of a lead going into the basement right now.
And we see the first MIPS coming up here. He was able to get it.
Now, as we talked about before, this particular category is very... Oh, nice grab by Paracusia. This category can almost be exhausting. It is non-stop action.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, if you think about it, at this point, 10 minutes into the run, we'd be a little bit out of Dark World right now. And LiamKings needs to land on that pillar, I'm pretty sure. We'll see if he can do a backup. He can do a little bit of a slide kick here. It's not doing that.
And he
just resets.
He reset.
Why did he do that?
Oh, no.
That is not what you want to do. Oh, he did save. Oh, he saved that from us. Okay.
He did save. So, luckily, now he's got a little bit of catching up to do. Paracusia now currently back in the driver's seat.
All right. I don't know if that was an instinctive. So one thing about nonstop is you also run a soft reset code. So if you're kind of grinding the category a lot, it's almost like when you're practicing a single star, you can just press L to reset. You kind of can do the same thing in nonstop, where it's just a 4-button combination. You reset the whole run. So sometimes if you have a death, you might just push those buttons instinctively, and that might be what we just saw here. Oh, another death from Paracusia as well. So both players taking death in SSL.
again, as we talked about kind of interviewing with Paracusia before the stream, we're looking to add a PB opportunity for Paracusia. As he hasn't finished a run, he has been grinding it out, but I think it's going to be really awesome to see him do that.
Yeah, it'll be cool to get these players some times on the leaderboard. LiamKings has some times from a little while ago, but he's back. Right, see Paracusia showing one of the slight nuances of Nonstop in that if you put this star with the wing cap, the wing cap still disappears. So even though you can use the wing cap to get that star in LLL, you can't use it afterwards. You have to kind of wall kick your way out of that cage area.
Now, Lethal Lava Lands, I spoke with J-Mill Gaming a little bit. Lethal Lava Lands is one of the tougher courses during 70 Star Nonstop, only because it truly doesn't stop, and you get a sizable amount of stars.
Another death from LiamKings.
Mamma mia!
Yikes.
Paracusia
Oh no, that was intentional. That was okay.
Yes.
My bad. I spooked myself there.
Paracusia going for the small bullies. He grabs 2 of them, one more, kind of giving him a little bit of an issue. Collecting the star with ease as usual. So we kind of talked a little bit before, specifically with the runners, with these 2 runners that are not on the leaderboard for this category, but have been practicing it like crazy. I know I checked out Reset earlier. However, you know, in Nonstop, anything changes. By the minute, it can change.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, like we saw from that accidental death in SSL from LiamKings, he lost some time there, but honestly, it takes 1 death and 1 minor mistake from Paracusia.
Oh.
Like what we just saw falling down in the volcano, and he's almost okay. He's still a little bit behind, but he can be back in it here.
Absolutely, going back up with Lava Boost to get up there quicker. Now, these 2 stars, it's all about speed. All about speed. You grab the first star, you wall kick, turn around, and long jump. If you don't have that speed already generated, you're not going to hit that 2nd star. So.
And it's also worth mentioning this this match is a best of 3. So regardless of what ends up happening in this first game, whoever wins, whoever loses, there's time to make up for it. So it's certainly not over if one player is developing.
And it looks like
as well.
Liam was able to close the gap, which is pretty awesome, especially with the death that occurred and the accidental exit there, or soft reset.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I'm trying to think of what I missed, because you don't actually save when you collect the star from it, because it's also Nonstop. How did LiamKings end up getting a save?
I do not know, to be perfectly honest. We can
I know what it is, actually.
Is it the Game Shark code?
It's technically the Game Shark code. So what happens when you do a soft reset is, because the console doesn't fully reset, the game keeping track of what stars you have in RAM. That was a ring backup. The file is basically not deleted if you use the soft reset code instead of the full reset, so it was just still there locally.
That was a great backup. You know, the hitboxes for those rings.
Yeah, though, I've never seen somebody go up and get a ring like from behind like that. That was actually really cool. Right, making it something second. And that is just a weird start to get with those rings. You have to go in at kind of a wonky angle.
Perfect. Both runners finishing up Dire Docks today.
Yeah, so normally getting that ring star and 120 star, the sub is not there, which means there's less lag going on. We see front sub from LiamKings here, trying to catch up that time.
Getting it first. Slides back off.
Yeah, but the ring star with the sub present, there's a lot more lag going on, and it's a lot harder to time swims, and you need perfect swims to grab that star. So it's a lot harder in this category than it would be in normal.
Absolutely, and I would assume that the lag reduction of almost clawing your hand to see right definitely makes swimming even more difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. Both players make their way into Fire Sea. Paracusia only about a third of Fire Sea ahead of LiamKings, so not a huge difference here. I also like seeing in Nonstop. This has happened just on a little bit of damage.
Burn.
Oh, two of them. Took us time to get the one up, I suppose. There are a few stars in Nonstop 70 that you would normally never get in. Oh, another burn, man.
Right.
Be careful here. That you normally never get in 70, such as the through the jet stream in DED, because normally you have to swim through the entire tunnel to get that, but since you only have to swim through the tunnel once in Nonstop, it's worth getting that star. And since you don't have, or since you would normally have to re-enter for Manta, it's usually worth skipping Manta. Although I think there is a slight route variation where you get Manta and chests on the second pass in DED. I don't know if we'll see that here or not.
LiamKings have to wait a little bit, missing that cycle.
Paracusia getting the throw and then making his way upstairs very soon.
Runners are definitely neck and neck right now, which is what we expect from these powerhouses. These guys, both of them in the top 20 or 20 star runs.
Yeah, both very, very talented players. I expect to see big things from both of them throughout Nonstop. Should they keep to the category regardless of what happens. Beautiful throw for LiamKings.
Now the winner from this particular best of 3 will go on to play Lunar Jump, who is the world record holder right now for the Nonstop 70 star. I did get the chance to speak to Lunar, and he said, oh my gosh, it makes me incredibly nervous because these guys are the best at what they do. So they kind of know that they're going to be facing the Big Daddy himself at the end of this. So
yeah, exactly.
We'll definitely see different things. I know that Paracusia, when he finishes this particular run, he'll have more to go off of, having him not completed a run before. So
yeah, absolutely. It says something, the world record holder being scared to play against.
Right.
I believe these are 16th and 17th seed in this race, actually. What it is that they haven't done much Nonstop, but they're really, really strong players. So if they put the time in and they know what they're doing, world record could be there. So Lunar Jump shaking in his boots.
right.
All right, and we see a nice route here. This is a little tough in Wet Dry World. Paracusia has to hit that elevator to make it drop, go grab the secret star here, and then still try to beat the elevator back up. It looks like he wasn't going to do it in time to move. It wasn't quite fast enough. It's a really tight angle, or not tight angle, but it's just a tight segment that you have to do very quickly. Otherwise, you have to hit this elevator a second time.
Very precise movement.
LiamKings also attempting it himself. This is his opportunity to catch back up. Looking good so far. It's even tighter than beating the elevator. You gotta fly up this.
Oh, and looks
He
like
gets it.
awesome.
Okay.
He fell down a
there
little
it
bit,
is.
but that is going to be a big time save for LiamKings.
Yeah, much closer to Paracusia here. So players heading into Tiny Huge Island.
HI. Now, we've definitely seen some issues with some of the runners here in THI. Different route variations, especially on secrets starting out. Kind of interested in seeing what these guys have going on for this.
Yeah. Bouncing off the Goomba, not quite the route. And this is an awkward place in THI to get caught in, but it looks like he makes his way out of it.
And we are neck and neck.
Man, this is almost
syncing up.
This is also kind of an interesting jump off the mountain because normally you want to just land on it and fly right into the star, but if you're like pressing A when you land because you might have expected a ledge grab and you didn't, you can just fly right off that slope after collecting this stuff and just go right through it. So the jump is a little bit scarier in Nonstop.
And I can definitely see that. And there are a few opportunities like that to where hopefully that muscle memory of running this game for years doesn't just kick in and you're like, oh my God, wait.
What have I done? Yeah, exactly. Right, Paracusia struggling to get up there, makes his way up, and now we see for the first time, I believe, LiamKings. Well, not for the first time. I guess he was in lead game in CCM, but for the second time, LiamKings in the lead here. Grab him and stop.
Going for the skip here.
Yeah, trying to catch up, and then we'll see both of the players making their way into the cave to collect some red coins, and then they'll be, I would guess, dying at the end of this. There's no issue with life count here, and it's quicker than exiting course from THI. I would guess.
LiamKings is currently up 2 extra lives right now.
Some 120-star movement there for LiamKings hitting the blue switch. Did not need those blue coins.
That muscle memory, just like we've talked about, you know, tag teaming that 100 coin up with the reds.
Yep. All right.
And that's kind of
taking an intentional death here.
That's been the theme throughout watching all of these runners, you know, making those smaller mistakes that aren't really mistakes if it wasn't a nonstop run.
Yeah, absolutely. And making their way into Tall Mountain. And this is just neck and neck, and we still have 1 or 2 more races after this one, so I'm very excited to see what comes of this.
You know, we're going into to TTM right now at about 22 minutes. Right now, world record is, I believe, 13:14 now, was just set yesterday. So this is a very quick category, but again, it can be exhausting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the name is not just a name. You have no breaks in this run. The only breaks you get are like death fade outs, because even exit course is quick enough really that you don't get to do anything. All right, we see some cool movement from Paracusia here. I really like this. You can slide off the mountain and kind of land right on that mushroom and grab the star, and then long jump from it. Oh, and that's not what you want to do. Life count should be fine, but now he's gonna have to go through and just still get reds and I don't know the name of the star, but the breezeless star on its own. But we won't, well, I guess it will be breezeless, but
yes,
not all the way.
You know, not quite enough speed to make that long jump, but
see LiamKings doing it right here, and another intentional death at the end of Tall Mountain. We see a lot of stage exits intentionally in the lobby because
almost missed that red coin.
Yeah, because the castle movement to get to the next lobby stage is really quickly, but by the time you're upstairs, you really don't want to be running from the lobby of the castle all the way back up, so you kind of save lives and just die to leave every stage from that point on. All right, and we see LiamKings developing a little bit more of a lead here as Paracusia kind of fumbles near the end of the slide there.
Now this is another star, the Snowman Head star, where typically in a normal run you're going to do a slide kick into that star.
Yeah, you're going to fly right into it, but you have to be careful on this one. And then you also do some kind of tricky movement sliding off the top of the snowman's head there. It's kind of a weird angle. The camera doesn't quite do what you want to, and you have to land on this strange slope to get to where you need to go next to the frozen pond. LiamKings was able to do it. See how it goes for Paracusia here.
Now, this is also what's interesting about the nonstop category. There are some runners that opt to go ahead and get the bully while they're getting the reds, and some that will come back. Now, when they get this star, the shell actually disappears, so it's kind of cool. They're just riding along the ground. It's similar to how the wing cap operates when you grab the star.
Yeah, definitely. Paracusia, a little bit the struggles making his way up the snowman, but he's good now. There's that strange roll-out movement I was talking. Yeah, so he lands in the pond. You just got to hop out of it here. Kick up this slope a little bit slower, but he's doing okay, but he can't really do things that are a little bit slower right now. Can't really afford that. LiamKings going back to the basement. So is this HMC late as well in nonstop?
It is.
It appears to be the case.
There have been 2 different routes. Some of the runners have been running HMC under the old school route, which is what I believe what we saw yesterday or the day before in the nonstop tournament. However, it's completely up to the runner and what they're comfortable with. I would assume that most of these guys, such as Paracusia and LiamKings, that are familiar with that normal 70-star route aren't going to deviate too much from at least the course order.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I believe HMC late. I might be wrong here, but I think it actually ends up saving more time. And ooh, that was going to be some cool movement for Paracusia. I think he's trying to do a double jump from the speed from the shell there. I think it ends up saving more time in nonstop than it does in the regular category, because you're not having to do, or because you're exiting the stage anyway.
And I'm not sure what the time optimization is for the regular route. I know it's very little.
Yeah, it's only a couple seconds, but. And that involves going into the course an extra time to exit, whereas in nonstop you want to exit after HMC anyway, so it kind of ends up saving even more time, I believe.
And for the viewers that are watching right now, HMC is typically delayed a lot of times in 70 star to get that second MIP star. because it's another very quick, easy star to get. And it's much easier if you're just going back and completing HMC a little bit later than you would normally in the normal progression of the game.
Definitely. And he's going to exit there. So if you were doing HMC early, you would just opt for a death at that star that LiamKings just exited at. But since we were doing it late, we want to go upstairs. We don't want to be in the basement anymore. All right, and LiamKings at this point almost a full stage ahead of Paracusia, really developing that lead. But he did mention in his pre-race interview, which was unfortunately censored on the stream, but he mentioned that he just recently learned the TTC route that did not involve 100 coins, and he's a little bit shaky on it. So he's still got some things in Tippy that might give him some trouble.
These two courses are the ones that runners do not look forward to.
Ooh, nice backup there for Paracusia. I didn't even know you could wall kick off that wall there.
I had no clue either.
That was really sweet.
I'm going with the triple box jump here.
Nice little roll out
very well.
Star. Beautiful. Not going to hit the button, but there's backup. But as I mentioned before, Paracusia doesn't want to find himself in a situation where he's doing backups. He wants to be in the driver's seat. And right now he's riding in the back seat.
LiamKings
He was way up there.
making a couple of small mistakes here on Rainbow Ride Reds, but he's kind of got the time right now. He's got a significant lead, but anything can happen with these guys. We've kind of gone back and forth a few times in this best of 3, the very first match that happened. A couple, I wouldn't want to say series of unfortunate events, but we did have a couple of things go wrong for both of the runners, but anything can happen at this point with these two powerhouses.
And if you're still not sold a Nonstop yet, check this. No Lakitu bounce.
No Lakitu bounce.
Really nice.
It's almost a similar route to...
Oh no, and the death from LiamKings. And from Paracusia.
Wow.
Gosh. Both players taking a reset here. LiamKings still 1 star ahead. Okay, so I said no Lakitu bounce, but it is going to be faster for him to do Lakitu bounce here if he remembers to do it. Looks like he does. Okay, Lakitu bounce, only a backup in Nonstop. Pretty good. So he's basically just a red coin star ahead of Paracusia at this point.
Right.
So he makes his way up here, taking it just a little bit safe. Gets up just fine. Now, if you're not doing Lakitu bounce, there's some really cool movement you can do in the boat there that I like plugging because I came up with it. Let's see if Paracusia knows it. You can kind of do a switch with the jump dive into the cruiser star, and then clip the edge of the boat to go into not sliding on your belly mode.
Oh, awesome.
Long jumping there, yeah. It's just really smooth and pretty cool. It's my sole contribution to Nonstop. Oh, and Paracusia taking a spill here. Can't Lakitu bounce when Lakitu's here, so he's going to have to wall kick his way back up there. LiamKings gave him some time, and then he just didn't take it. He didn't quite do anything with it.
Punch in there. The nerves, you know, coming from running these stages between Rainbow Ride and TikTok Clop, where any small mistake...
Oh, here it is. Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Any small mistake could cost you time. You're gonna fall all the way down. We see LiamKings going into Tippy now.
One thing I like about the deaths in Nonstop is that if you've gotten half the stage done and then you die and you go back in, you're kind of doing this weird route that is basically improvised because you're doing the second half of the stage, like LiamKings did, where he had to do Lakitu bounce to get back up because he didn't need the red coin star. It'd be like dying on 100 coins in a regular category, and then you just gotta go get the rest of the coins or something. It's totally new every time.
Which would be amazing.
No! Oh my gosh. That was incredible.
Oh.
I don't even know how he wall kicked there.
I have no clue either.
I thought he was dead for sure. Okay, getting the start. This death is on purpose. That's all right. All right, LiamKings needs to get up to the Womp Star here.
The Womp Star. Now, there are 2 different routes that I've seen, specifically during this tournament. You know, some of the runners go all the way up top and work their way down, and some actually start at the bottom and work their way up. Looks like LiamKings is opting for the latter, starting all the way up top and working his way down.
Yeah, I think the variation is if you're doing 100 coin with TTC, then you kind of work your way up rather than flying up real quickly.
Which makes sense.
Where in this case, since he's not doing it, he just goes top and you can just fall down to every star. He's going to end with red coins here. It's not looking bad for LiamKings, but Paracusia 6 stars behind, but it's TikTok Clock. There's no stage exiting. Those 6 stars can happen in 20 seconds, so
exactly.
does not have a lot of room for error here. Oh, I like that wall kick. That was beautiful. Straight into the death. Another intentional one. He's going to make his way into Bowser in the sky. Going to try to close out this first round before Paracusia has a chance to get himself.
Pulling out all the stops right now.
Oh,
ooh, and he bonks.
All right.
Luckily, he did have that grade, so he didn't just bonk off the side.
Definitely. And one thing to note from Paracusia here that might not come into play, but has a chance to. He has 1 life here. He's going to die intentionally at the end of PQC. If he has an unintentional death in Bowser in the Sky without grabbing any of those 1-ups, it's game over and he's done.
Oh,
or a death here.
And he falls. He
Okay.
has died. He is going to have to get the pole 1-up.
He's gonna have to get a 1-up here or exit course. I hope he's mindful of his life count. If he's not, then it could just be donezo for him. So he's gonna do a little bit of a hybrid TTC route here, just get the stars that he's missing, but wants to grab a 1-up on his way.
Did not get the triple jump.
But he doesn't need to necessarily go to the pole, but he's gonna do it for the 1-up anyway. Very smart.
Yes.
All right. Slides back down all the way. Alright, some interesting movement.
Going over to LiamKings. Looks like he misses his first throw.
Okay. Giving Paracusia a little bit of time. Oh,
that throw connected for LiamKings, so it is definitely a race against the clock here. Paracusia just finishing up
another one. Something's gonna have to go majorly wrong for LiamKings here. For Paracusia to get back in it, and it does not go wrong. He gets his third throw. He completed the run, despite resetting halfway through. Beautiful, beautiful. Looks like the first game is going to go to LiamKings here, but there's more. It's a best of 3. It's not over yet, and from what I've seen, both players are still capable of taking this series.
These guys were neck and neck. Again, like I said, series of unfortunate events going back and forth. Both of these runners are definitely even matched, very much so.
All right, I think we're going to be going into this game as quickly as possible.
It's me, Mario.
All right, going ahead. Para gonna hold off on finishing that particular run. As we talked about earlier, Paracusia has not finished a run in 70 star yet.
Yeah, and still has not. I guess he does need to win one of these in order for him to finish a run. There's a chance he'll leave this tournament without finishing a run. I hope that doesn't happen. I'm hoping for a game 3 here, regardless of who ends up taking the whole series. I'm rooting for Para the second game just because I want a third one.
Absolutely. It's always great when you go to 3.
Yeah,
it always makes it more exciting for sure. We did have quite a few unintentional deaths in this past run, but now they're warmed up. They're ready to go. They know what to expect out of each other. So I think that this next run is going to be even better. We did have that accidental soft reset in SSL from LiamKings, but he was able to close that gap and come away with the very first of 3 out of this match.
Absolutely. And I don't know exactly what LiamKings' PB was, but I would not be surprised to learn that he might have had a PB there. Both of these players haven't spent very much time with this category practicing for the tournament, so they might be pulling out all the stops and doing the best they've done right now.
It looks like the players are ready to up for round 2 of this best of 3 nonstop 70 star.
And we're getting into it very soon. We do need
talked about earlier
file here. Hopefully he'll do that. All right.
There he goes. Okay. So the winner of this particular round goes on to round 2 in the bracket to face the man, the myth, legend, Lunar Jump, the world record holder in this particular category.
All right, and I believe we are going here very soon.
All right. Yep, we have started. We're off.
We have just a slight
possibility
between the production and the game feeds. There they go.
There we go.
Lunar Jump. Not Lunar Jump. LiamKings tired of waiting. We'll see. I think we're just going to sync up the game feeds here.
Yep, I see. We're good.
All right. Yeah, and again, no intro. You fly right into this. We barely even gave them time between the entire runs, and now they're having to do it all over again. So
Well,
we're really putting these runners to the test in this tournament.
well, both of them. Also, I would assume they knew what their mistakes were in the very first. You know, they saw them. They didn't feel as great about the run, so they're like, "Come on, let's get back in here. Let's do this. Let's finish it."
Yeah. Now, I wonder if we're going to see Paracusia going for island hop here. He did it in the first match, but now he's a game behind. I don't know if he can afford to mess it up. He might just want to play a little bit safer here and do the other route. Let's see what he opts for as soon as he grabs the star. He is going for it. Well, I hope he can get it.
Oh,
okay.
He slides down.
Okay. That's one way to get up. All right.
All right.
He just gives up. Okay.
Yep, he's going to
I do not blame him whatsoever. If you're having that much trouble getting to the island, island hop trick, you might as well just call it quits and wait.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
All right.
Looks like we got Liam working on his 100 coin. Now, what's interesting, I don't know if you see, they're not doing the wall kick after you kill the piranha plant, so that they can turn around and immediately go back into Cannonless. It's a better camera angle, from my understanding.
Yeah,
he does get Cannonless. Now, the only indication that you actually get that star is the smoke that kind of rises up out of the middle of the texture there. So
yeah, definitely. It's that or paying attention to your star count, because it looks almost like the sort of fake ledge grab that you get, the fake cannons that you might get in a normal.
Right.
And this might be LiamKings now. Now, one thing I just noticed during the file select screen is that these players are playing on different versions. One's on Japanese, one is on English. Really doesn't make a difference in Nonstop, except in the intro. Japanese is going to be faster. There's no 100 coin text boxes or anything like that. There's very few text boxes in general that you're going to see at all, which makes Japanese ultimately faster. There's also a little bit, it's kind of unexplored, but there's a glitch specific to Japanese version in that if you exit course while having rotational velocity, such as on those falling platforms there in Watts, you'll actually spawn displaced in the lobby. It's possible to spawn closer to the basement. A potential unexplored time save. I've been meaning to make a comparison. So it might end up making Japanese version the
absolutely
real version.
See, the more you know. I had no clue about that.
Yeah, it's a very niche thing that I don't remember why it ever even came up. Alright, and we see LiamKings going into Whomp's Fortress 2, making his way up to the tower, and Owl is already developed a little bit of a lead on Paracusia, and unlike last game, Paracusia doesn't have a hidden lead from doing a different route, because he ended up giving up on Island Hop. He's doing the same route as LiamKings, so this lead is as real as possible already. Not to say it's over. It is so far from over.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've seen that in just one particular course. Paracusia going ahead, jumping off the side so we can get that tower spawned to finish up the last two. Now, we did see a route deviation within the last run here. LiamKings going ahead and getting the slide star now, while Paracusia kind of put off that slide star a little bit. I'm interested to see what's going to happen now that Paracusia has redeveloped his route.
Yeah, we'll see. I assume he's just going to make the second pass in the BOB, do the sky jump. I don't think... I mean, there's a few other things that people have explored in Nonstop. Looks like he is going right into Bowser in the Dark World. I think this doesn't matter. He's going to exit course here. There won't be lag because the sunshine won't be there. He'll just fly over to the slides, and then he'll be...
LiamKings missing that first coin.
Ooh. We got one of the twins to make his way back down there. Giving Paracusia a little bit of time to catch up here. Hard to tell exactly who's in the lead at the moment, but we'll be able to tell after both players are done with these set of stars and are making their way into the Cool Mountain.
Now, what's important is the switch that actually comes in Wing Cap. With that switch, it's for two reasons. One, for if you're going into BOB, again, for that island in the Sky Star, but also in Lethal Lava Lands, where it's necessary to go ahead and grab that wing cap to get the log rolling star as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I don't think we pointed out before, the text skip in Nonstop is different than in normal runs.
Paracusia almost flying off the edge.
Dive there. It looked
that
like.
muscle memory.
Man.
Good save.
Yeah, in a normal run, you want to touch the switch and then grab the star, and that skips the text. But in Nonstop, you would touch the switch, grab the star, and that would spawn the text. So instead, you grab the star, touch the switch, and then while the switch is pressed, but you have control of Mario, usually from a ledge grab, you exit course to instead skip the text. So you kind of get the switch and star in a different order Nonstop. Backflip from LiamKings, turning around, getting his last red coin here.
Now, right now, it looks like the runners are synced up. However, notice the star count. Right now, LiamKings with 12 stars going into the first Bowser fight in Dark World. That is because he has the slide star and the wing cap already done. Paracusia is going right now to go grab those. So LiamKings does have a little bit of a lead as of right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see him exiting course here, heading into Cool Mountain. Meanwhile, Paracusia is going to get these slide stars and the wing cap, as you mentioned, and then make his way into Cool Mountain.
What's really interesting is Lethal Lava Lands, which will come up here shortly, is definitely a difficult route for these guys. It's one that can be intimidating, not quite as much as TikTok Clock or Chippy, but this particular route, or in Nonstop, Lethal Lava Lands is definitely intimidating.
Yeah, absolutely. Beyond just already there being...
Paracusia missing that red.
Okay. Both players having a little bit of trouble with the Tower of the Wing Cap.
All right, LiamKings headed into CCM.
All right, yeah, and as I mentioned the stars were missing before, I don't know that he pushed that
I don't
switch.
either. We will know right here.
And I don't know that he knows... if I remember correctly, the sunshine goes away when you've collected the star, not when you've pressed the switch. So
looks like he did get it.
Oh, he did. Okay,
he did get it. Okay.
For some reason, I was thinking we won't know until Lethal Lava Land, but looks like he did. All right, yeah. So he's got to get this star and then make his way to CCM. Meanwhile, LiamKings already halfway through the slide, kind of developing that lead. He wants it. He wants the win. He's ready to move on.
He does want the win.
Saw what it took in the first game. He's like, if I just do the same thing, then I can get there.
All right, Paracusia entering CCM now. LiamKings already finished the slide once. Going ahead and finishing up that 100 coin.
Definitely. Oh, needs to grab the penguin there. Yeah, one of the real scary things in Nonstop is dying during 100 coin, because you have to go back and get your coins, but then the stars are already collected, so they're kind of like, you're really wasting a lot of time.
And that's what you were talking about earlier, the improv. If you accidentally die trying to come up with a new route on the fly to adapt, that really shows what these runners are made of.
Yeah, absolutely. It kind of reminds me a little bit of bingo, where you're having to do things you've never done before just to get through the run. Looks like no deaths so far for players during 100 coins, which is good. But I think that's something to be aware of.
LiamKings finishing up his 100 coin right now.
Going to finish with wall kicks will work. Paracusia, pretty close behind him. Not as big of a lead as I maybe keep talking about, but noteworthy nonetheless. Okay, he's making his way into Big Boo's haunt. Can grab a couple of stars here. Oh, crawling for a second. Okay, there we go. Long jump.
Only a little bit left to go for Paracusia. It looks like it's a substantial lead. However, as we saw with the very first, LiamKings struggling to get that side flip up top. You know, as we saw earlier, anything goes. With that nonstop action, you don't have that downtime. So any of those mistakes you can recover from. But it's all based upon movement. You know, Blue Bob goes back to saying movement saves minutes, strat saves seconds. It's definitely super important here in this category.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very, very movement-intensive category, and also a lot of movement that you might find yourself not familiar with. You're so used to kind of ending a stream of movement when you touch a star that going through it and then having to continue and do something else just feels so awkward for a lot of people. So it takes a while to kind of get used to that. you'll even see like right there, you stop for a second instead of being really fluid. And I think we're also still trying to figure out like what the best movement is.
Ooh, Paracusia not making that long jump there. Or excuse me, that jump dive all the way across.
Right, we see Mips here for LiamKings. Good Mips grab.
Missing that side flip twice with Paracusia. He does get up there finally.
Okay.
Heading up to take out Big Boo.
Ooh, a crawl from him as well. Both players really like crawling to Big Boo's home, apparently.
I see that.
Oh, he's got to wait for the King Boo to get up there.
Now, SSL was kind of hard. Paracusia had a really good SSL last run. However, LiamKings with the soft reset, so let's see what he does here just going into SSL.
Okay, looks like he landed on the pillar the way he needed to. He's doing the movement that he's supposed to do. We don't see the start screen.
Right.
Now, one interesting thing on these pillars you have to be wary of, if you touch the top of that pillar for only one frame, it actually doesn't register as being touched. So that really quick rollout you saw him do on the third pillar here, it looks sweet, but if you actually do it like too well, it just won't register that you touched it, and then you have to go back and grab it again. So
And retry it one more time.
want a single dust frame on the top here. Good here. Man, can't see where he's going. He's taking a spill. Oh, no ledge trap. I thought it was going to be good. He pauses.
He
Collects himself. Doesn't want to die yet. He still needs secrets. Gonna make his way back up here. We'll see if he knows how to get up there. What he wants to do. This is looking pretty good. Oh, and he falls again.
He falls one more time, almost into the quicksand for the death.
Right.
He was able to pull it through.
Luckily, the only secrets he's missing are on this quicksand trough thing here, so he doesn't have to do any really strange climbing. He's just got to maneuver his way through this thing.
Oh, Paracusia with the death.
Unintentional death in SSL. Alright, LiamKings went back to spawn the star there. Yeah, both players SSL giving a little bit of trouble, and I don't blame them. SSL is just a very, very difficult stage in Nonstop.
It really is. It's almost deceptively difficult. You know, you see these runners even doing it yourself. You're like, man, I got this. And I believe Heisenberger calls it hand RNG.
That's a good way to put it.
For this particular stage. So Paracusia is going to be finishing up SSL here shortly.
Oh, no.
Oh, he missed.
He cannot die here. Okay, he made it up. All right, I am. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared right now. If he dies here, his run is over. We'll see what happens.
All right, LiamKings finishing up the reds in LLL.
All right, making his way into the pyramid here.
All right, we have a pop from Paracusia.
Trying to figure out exactly what's going on there. All right, LiamKings killing these three bullies here.
All three. Side flip
And a big
executed
one.
perfectly.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So the last 2 stars he's got are in the volcano.
Yes, he'll make his way over here. Grab the little one up on the way. Can never have too many of those in Nonstop. He's gonna go for the lava boost here. Okay, good.
All the way up. Now remember we talked about the speed here.
And he gets the wall
he
kick. He's
missed
gonna
it.
fall down.
Not quite enough up top.
Okay.
Let's take a look.
Grab one coin here and take the elevator. Beautiful. Okay. Just gotta watch out for the fire here, but shouldn't be an issue. It is on a little bit different cycle than what it might normally be on, but looks good. Beautiful. Okay, and he's gonna exit here. All right, making his way back down to the basement, and then he's gonna fly into Dire Docks.
DDD, we talked about that lag, the lag reduction. So
I think we might have seen a quit here from Paracusia.
I'm thinking so as well. I did just get notified, just so you know, there is a new 70 or nonstop 70-star world record was set about 10 to 15 minutes ago, 29:54
Oh,
by
awesome.
TK.
By Triforce TK.
Yes.
That is
So-
wonderful. Lunar Jump dethroned. That's big news.
That is absolutely huge. I know that he was running right before we came on live tonight. Definitely worried about the outcome of this particular race.
Yeah, well, I believe. Yeah, it looks like Paracusia has resigned from the race. Didn't want to continue going. Didn't feel like PBing apparently. A little disappointing, but you can't always be in control of that stuff. So, I think we're just getting word of what's gonna happen to LiamKings here. He's gonna die in Dire Dogs unless he
Yes,
swims.
he is.
That for sure. All right, we're just getting confirmation of what we should be doing. But wow, that is amazing. Sub 30 and nonstop. I knew it was possible. I knew anybody could take it. Very cool to see TK do that.
Which I believe he was in, of course, the run has not been verified yet, but he was actually in third place with 30:44. So,
yeah, very close behind. And TK is also in this tournament. He is the second seed.
yes.
So, and he'll be racing against Blue Bob in round 2. I don't think we have a date on that one as we're still working our way through round 1. But okay, looks like this race has concluded.
Yes.
After the resignation by Paracusia. So congratulations to our winner, LiamKings. He will be racing against Lunar Jump in round 2. So he made it through. He got a 33. That's a solid time, but I think he's got to put in a little bit of practice, make sure he's up to date on his strats and everything if he wants to do well against Lunar Jump in round 2.
He really is. Lunar Jump has that PB of 30 minutes and 14 seconds. Now, we all know that race strats are a little bit different. People don't always go absolutely nuts. They do pull back just a little bit, but still definitely going to have to put in a little bit of time going up against Lunar Jump in round 2.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, looks like we have both of our runners in the call here. Gentlemen, that was a whirlwind of emotion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my mind and body just wasn't gonna let me continue.
Well, that's understandable. I suppose that does happen.
Absolutely.
About it.
The first run that you had, SSL was really, really good. And Liam, at the same time with the soft reset, what was going through your mind when you accidentally soft reset then?
I mean, obviously, like, it wasn't on purpose, so
Sure.
I don't even remember exactly how it happened. I feel like I just kind of clutched the controller hard, and then I just saw the screen go black, and I started
was
to
it
panic.
actually just completely intentional or unintentional?
Yeah, I didn't.
I thought it might have been like
cross my head.
Oh, interesting. I thought it might have been the muscle memory where you press L when you're practicing a star. It could almost be like that in nonstop. I thought it might have just been something like that where you have a death that you didn't want. You just reset the run and go on to the next one.
Yeah, I was so surprised when I saw that there was a file because I completely forgot I saved on.
Yeah, no, I think what that is if you soft reset without actually resetting the console, your file is just still there.
Yeah, yes. Right, I forgot.
So conveniently, that worked out really well. Well, congratulations, LiamKings. You're playing against Lunar Jump in round 2, former world record holder, apparently, as we just heard during your race. A new world record category was set, actually, by Triforce TK.
Yep, Triforce TK with a 29:54 for the new world record. How do you feel going to the next couple of days or getting prepared? What are you going to do mentally to get ready for that race with Lunar Jump?
I don't know what I'm gonna do mentally. Probably just sort of like, because I'm not the favorite in that one, so I can just kind of play loosely and not feel pressured, I guess. But until then, I'll just try to do runs and practice and try to get some kind of consistency in this category.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Paracusia, I know that with your particular run that you just had, the last 2 runs with nonstop, it is definitely very different for sure. going forward with you, is this something that you're going to continue to expound upon, or how do you feel about
Um,
this particular category?
I don't really want to do Nonstop 70, but I have worked on Nonstop 120 a little bit in the past. I might do that at some point, but my eyes are set on just like normal 120 stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. Well, racers, thank you so much for the races this evening. Really appreciated it. Thuriel, thanks so much for the co-commentary. I believe we're closing out the stream here.
Absolutely.
And we can catch some more Nonstop action soon, I believe. Yeah, it looks like 3 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow will be Sorry versus Juice Penguin in our Nonstop 70 tournament. And then at that point, I think we're getting a little bit closer to round 2. And then we can start seeing some more high octane Nonstop gameplay.
Exclamation point bracket. You can check out that bracket, see where we are, and definitely looking forward to see what's to come in this tournament.
All right. Well, I think that's all I have. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here. Thorough, thanks so much for the co-commentary.
You as well.
Awesome. And everybody have a good night.
Cheers.
Have a good night.